So basically, this paper is about the development of a new item response theory model for a specific type of measurement data, that is force choice measurement. So typically in our field, we are interested in a lot of constructs. So we assess them with Likert scales. Basically, each time we give them a single statement and ask them to see how much do you agree with this item. So this is what we'll call a single statement assessment or Likert rating scales. But Likert rating scales, a lot of us are familiar. There are many issues with Likert rating scales. For example, all kind of response bias and response styles. And particularly when we apply this Likert rating scales, for example, Likert rating scales of personality in a high stakes situation like personal selection, it is actually very easy for people to fake their responses. So that means in this case, the data we obtained from the Likert rating scales, its validity might be compromised. So that is the reason why I have been doing a lot of work related to force choice measurement. So in force choice measurement, instead of giving people one statement at a time, instead I will give you a block of statement at one time. A block contains at least two statements. There can be more. And then I will ask you to choose, relatively speaking, which one is more like you or which one is the less like you. Or I will just ask you to rank all the statements from the most like you to the least like you. And also, when developing force choice measurement, I will make sure that all the statements within the same block, they are matched on social disability. That means they are equally good or equally bad or equally neutral. So in this way, it's really, really hard for people to choose, the best looking one, because in this way, and we assume that then in this case, they have to select based on their for example, true personality. So this is what force choice scale looks like. But the problem is with force choice data, it's very complicated to analyze such data. We cannot just use simple scoring, like just add up numbers or something. We need to really delve into the response process and then develop a corresponding scoring models to get the information we want from the data. So in our field, there are already several types of IRT models to deal with force choice data. But in most cases, these IRT models, they are limited in one way or another. For example, there are some models that can only apply to pairs, basically a block size of 2. There are some other models that probably only applies to the rank data, or some other models only apply to a specific response model under certain assumptions. So basically, that means if you use different force choice scales, different types of force choice scales, you might need to use different models for the scoring, which makes it really hard to compare across different types of scales. So basically, the overall idea of this paper is to develop a model that can deal with all type of force choice model, all type of force choice scales, regardless your block size, regardless of your assumption of how they respond to this model, or regardless, whether they are asked to rank the statements or not. So this is the ultimate goal of this project, to develop a model that can be applied to at least as many force choice format as possible. So that's the basic idea of this. And then in this paper, of course, we developed the model and we present the formulas. And then we also run a bunch of multiple simulation studies to show that this model can indeed work. Its statistical property is good enough to be used. And then we also presented two empirical data sets to further support the utility of this new model in real data. So I think through this model deviation and also simulation and also empirical data, I think we have presented a pretty strong case for this new model. So I personally call it a GTUM. So I think it's a really interesting process.